Hey, greetings folks. How's everybody? How's everybody out in YouTube land? Hope everyone's well. Today, me and you, and whoever's watching, we are gonna get this April of 1971 Continental. This one's my favorite go and do some off-roading 10-speed. Well, it's not a 10-speed anymore. It's not like the other Continental that I converted to flip-flop hub. It's a little bit different. Yeah, I've been waiting to get this one out of the stack. It's been about 6 or 7 behind a big stack of bikes, and it didn't make it through the winter too well. These tires are about 7 years old. They have a few rides on them, but what happened was I think the dry rot just got to it. Anyway, we're not gonna, I'd love to use these knobbies, but there's this big peel right here, this big sidewall issue, and it's actually rubbing on the pad a little bit right there. The rim's not the greatest either. I just don't trust these. There's one here. I just don't trust these anymore. The sidewalls are, you know, they're just gum walls and they're coming apart, and I just don't trust it. This tube is good. This tube is bad. Actually, this front tire fared much better. I still don't trust these tires though. You can see there's some cracking. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. There's some cracking on this one too. And it's just stored in a wet basement, in a wet area that it shouldn't have been. There was a couple floods during the hurricane and stuff like that. This tube feels a little loose here on the stem, and I don't trust that. When they're loose like that, they'll blow. So we're definitely going to replace that tube. Might reuse this tube, and we're going to use the tires that came with this sports tourer because we're cheap. And they're Bell tires. They're crappy, and there's flat spots on them, but I don't care. At least the sidewalls are good. And I just took them off the other rims, and what's really hilarious is they reused the Schwinn tubes. Whoever put these new tires, these Bell Kevlar Streetsters, they reused the Schwinn approved tubes that came with the bike. I'm not going to use these. They're probably still good. There was some brown liquid in them, and I don't understand that part. I was letting the air out and some brownish liquid came out. You know, that's a new one on me. Maybe it was tube sealer they had before slime was invented, the green stuff. I don't know, but I'll save these. They were holding air, and they are Schwinn. They're kind of interesting. Both of them, they did not change the tubes when they changed these tires. Now we'll spray these down with some something and try to seat them really well. I did notice there was a slight up and down hop spot on them from sitting, and we should be able to reseat these. They're still pretty recent tires, and the sidewalls are good. No, they're not knobby. You know, that's unfortunate that this sat so long. I remember the last time I rode it a couple of years ago, it wasn't this bad, but now it's actually hitting the pad a little bit. It's bulged out so much, and you know, I just don't trust it. Anyway, let's get going. Wifey's got a homemade pie in the oven, so when the phone rings, I'm gonna shut you guys off and run and eat pie and ice cream, and then I'll come back here all hopped up on sugar, and we'll really get this done. Oh, by the way, the sound in the background is my new South Central air system. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, folks. Yeah, there's a window unit over there. It comes out of this tube, and then it hits this fan and blows over here. And you know, it takes the edge off out here. It was about 92 degrees in the shop today, and I was making frames and making cardboard boxes to ship artwork, and it was hot. And this is definitely taking the edge off. I know it looks pretty Rube Goldberg, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, folks. And yes, that will be running while I'm out here. Deal with it. Okay, let's get busy. Let's take this back wheel off. Oh, and I've never really showed you how this shifts. Anyway, it was a 10-speed, but now it's a 2-speed. Not the 2-speed kickback hub, not the 2-speed cable operated. It's my version of what a 2-speed should be. And I'll show you how it works. Okay, you're in the lowest gear right now. This derailleur does nothing but tension the chain. That's all that does. There's no cable going to that. All that does is sit there and look goofy. Okay, you're in about... Oh, right, that's... Right, it just stays in that gear. Stays in this gear. It doesn't go down to that one. That's just a spacer. And there's a big spacer. You see that spacer I machined there with the collet with the set screws. The chain never goes down to that. It just stays on this big gear. Right now it's in the larger gear, the 52 or whatever the Schwinn 10-speed would be. This would be the equivalent to, 6th gear. Let's see, you're in the top. Yeah, it would be the equivalent to maybe 6th gear. And now when we drop this down, here we go. And now we're kind of like in a 2nd gear. So you've got 2nd gear. You can adjust this a little so it doesn't rub. You've got 2nd gear and you've got 6th gear. Nothing happens back here. It all happens right here. And it was a 10-speed. I put a 5-speed shifter on it just to make it kind of look like it was going to be a Schwinn, you know, which it is. Yeah, it's goofy. It's very goofy. All right, let's get going. When the phone rings, I got to go eat pie and ice cream, so get happy, folks. Let's get this back one off first. It's really bad. Oh, that's right. These brakes are kind of tight. We need a 10mm on that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite bikes to go crash around on. The paint's decent. It does have a water bottle holder, made in Italy. That's important. The brakes are center pull. They're very good. The pads are decent. I mean, I could probably get better pads for what I'm doing, but they're decent. Okay, let's take this off. It's not easy to get off. Okay, there we go. All right, and there's a better look at the 2-speed conversion. Yeah, when you have a lathe, you can do crazy stuff like that. Anyway, let's get over here and take this tire off. I just don't trust these tires, folks. Save this yellow stem. We want to put that yellow cap back on. That's cool. And we'll let the air out of this. I don't know if I put slime in these tubes or not. We're going to find out if I did when the green stuff comes pouring out. And if you do put slime in a tube, put the stem up here when you let the air out. That way you don't got that green stuff floating all around on you, you know. I don't know if slime's in here. I'm just taking a precaution. It might be. This tube's good. I'm going to reuse this tube. I don't think there's any slime in there. Let's look and see if there is. No, I don't think I put any in. Okay, work these around. I might just... I want to get all the air out of this for sure. It's a tight fit on these. This is a Belgium rim. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hey, hope everyone's doing good. It's been a while since I posted something. I have been busy. July is a very busy month in the art world and furniture world and barn building, house fixing world. And I have been busy. But we are going on a bike ride tomorrow, and I really want to use this bike. It's one of my favorites. These plastic tire irons are not my favorite. I have another metal one somewhere, but I don't want to bore you with digging through my tools. Yes, we are going on a bike ride tomorrow, and I want to use this bike, but I'm not going to use these cracked up tires. I'd rather use some old used ones that came with another bike. Actually, those Bell Streetsters, I think Bell gets a bad rap, you know. They do have cheap stuff, but their tires aren't too bad. At least the sidewalls aren't all cracked up like this one. All right, let's see what I put in here. Maybe I put a thorn-proof tube in here or something. That'd be nice. And no, it's not a thorn-proof tube. And where are we here? We're here. We're still here. Oh, it's a tight one. Yeah, these Belgium rims are kind of tight, which is good. They're a good rim. Oh, okay. Whoa, close one. Almost knocked over my bug spray. Okay, that's out of the way. We're going to check this rim liner in a second, but we know we're going to use this tube for sure. I might even put some slime in it. And here's the deal. You know, it just got stored in the basement poorly for a few years behind the stack. Probably the air leaked out of it and then water got in there. But anyway, I could have done better. I could have aired up the tire now and then, or stored it in a drier spot. It's just, and it's sad because there's plenty of tread left on there. But that one's completely toast. I'm never going to use that again. Okay, let's look at the rim liner. The rim liner is decent. Yeah, we are going to use that rim liner. I don't see any spokes popping out. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a no-no. Let's see if we can pop that back over. You see that there? Yeah, that's kind of a no. Might replace this rim liner if I can get it back. Yeah, you know what? There's a hole in it right there. Darn. Okay, we gotta replace it. Yeah, that ain't happening. In fact, we should blow up the tube and look around the inside of it just to make sure the tube didn't rub on that spoke, but I think we're okay. Yeah, it's just that one there, you see. I think the spoke end was actually still covered. It just started to break. Yeah, it might have been rubbing on a spoke end there too. Yeah, we'll blow up that tube and take a look at it very carefully before I put it in. I think it's okay though. Let's put another liner on this. I'll be right back. I'm getting another liner as we speak. Okay, one size fits all, and it's wrong. Let's see if this one will work. Let's see, it's going to be a little big. It's not quite the right size, but it's better than getting a flat. Okay. It's funny, when you're doing stuff on camera, it always seems like it's harder. You know, when you're doing stuff off camera, you're just whipping along, things are moving along good. And then you start to do stuff on camera, and you drop stuff, and you can't find your tools. You're sweating your butt off because it's 90 degrees out here. Your ghetto air conditioner is barely doing anything. Actually, it's feeling a lot better than it was today. I just put that cardboard box system up, and I know it really looks goofy, but it is doing a lot. It's a lot cooler in here than it was earlier when I was out here. I had the AC on, but I didn't have that diverter system in. Okay, and always take a look once you put it on. Make sure it's not crossed and flipped over, and just make sure everything's good. And with gum walls, sometimes it leaves a little deposit of gooey gum wall stuff in the rim, and you have to run a screwdriver along like this. And when you do that, have glasses on. I've had that stuff like pop off in an aggressive manner, like it's not on this rim. I can't really show you. Oh, there's a little speck right there, and you get it off, and it goes flying at you, just because it's been stuck on there so long. I don't see any on this rim. It looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit right here. Yeah, we're okay. All right, let's pump up that tube and take a decent look at it. Besides being horribly misshapen from being a cheap tube, I think we're okay. I don't see any. There's some gum wall crap. I don't see any. Did you know your cheek can actually feel the air coming out really before you can even hear it? You know, if you run it along your cheek like that. This tube looks okay. There's a couple little rusty spots, and you can kind of see. You can kind of see where it was rubbing a little bit on that spoke, but I think we're okay with this. This big bulge here really doesn't mean much. It's annoying, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this Schrader valve out, and we're going to put some slime in it real quick. If I can find my Schrader valve tool. If not, I think we're going to let it go. Oh, okay, I found one. Bear with me. Here's some green stuff. It's no name green stuff. Yeah, it's just stuff you put in a tube. It's no name. Don't look at the name. They haven't sent me any money yet. All right, so we're going to take this Schrader valve out, and we're going to look at the rubber real quick. It looks a little goofy, but there's a little crud on there. Okay, I guess we can shake it up a little. Okay, this green stuff, you know, it's just some no-name green stuff. That's all you have to know. Okay, you don't need much, okay? You just need a squeeze. Don't go hog wild. You don't want 3 pounds of slime or some green stuff in your inner tube. Not a paid promotion. They haven't sent me any money, so they don't get a mention. Although I probably mentioned them 4 times already. Okay, we got the green stuff in there, and we'll put this down away somewhere. And next, we're going to feel around on the tire, and just make sure. Like, this is an unknown tire. I don't know anything about it except it came on that sports tour bike, and it's dirty. The sidewalls are good. It had a flat spot on it from sitting, but we're going to fix that when I put about 100 pounds into it. And we might even spray it a little bit to make it. There's some goo on, just crud on here. We might spray it down with something to kind of get it slippery to go on. So let's get something. We don't care what it is. And we got a little rubber protectant also. No promo. Maybe there's some in there. Be nice if there was. Be nice if the sprayer actually worked. Funny, you do these videos and like things just happen and mess up, and you're like, man, this was working so good yesterday when I used it on the truck or another bike, and suddenly like nothing's working and you're frustrated. Don't be frustrated, just keep moving, you'll be fine. Okay, we've made this tire all slippery and nice, and we want to slip it on this made in Belgium rim, which is, they're kind of tight. You know, I've noticed the tires kind of fit on tight. Okay, this one's good. Bell Kevlar. We'll see if we can get the flat spot out of this. So we'll put a little bit of air back in this. Just a little to hold the shape. And we got some leftover stuff in the bottom here. We don't want that in there. Okay. So we're using a used tire and a known used good tube. And we're going to put it on this rim that was on the bike. And now we have some green tube sealer in there, which is nice to have just in case. You never know what you're going to be up against when you're bonsaiing around on your 2-speed Continental. Okay, here we go. We're going to put it together. And Bob's your uncle. It's good not to get your shirt caught in there too. Now I could clean this rim. There's a way to clean aluminum rims with aluminum foil, actually. Aluminum foil, and some people use aluminum foil and vinegar. Vinegar, that's right. Did I say that? I might try that later. I might try that, but tonight we just want to get this ready to roll, because I want to go on a bike ride tomorrow. And I want to ride a bike with at least 2 gears. You know, it's been rough. Man, it is a tight one. These Belgium rims are tight. Woo, they're tight. All right, let's get you up here. Let's see, I got all the air out of it. Okay. These babies are tight. Man, they're tight. Sometimes they just don't want to even go on. I might have to cheat a little and take this tube out. Ooh, that's tight. Wow. Man, they don't play around in Belgium. They don't play. We can't be having the tires come off the rims. Unacceptable. Oh man, these are so tight. Wow. Makes you wonder, is this really a 27? Yeah, it's a 27 by 1.25 inches. Whoo, man, that's tight. No joke, Sonny. Woo! Yeah, that was not a plastic tire iron deal. Okay. All right, so you saw how tight that rim was. It's just, I think I've had these Belgium rims. They just don't play. They make them tight. They don't want things coming off. I mean, most bike rims are tight, but usually if it's a brand new tire and a decent rim, you can just put it on with your thumbs, you know. But this one's not playing nice. Okay. Like I say, every time you're doing a video, things are just harder, it seems like. Get some air out of this tube, it'd be better too. The tube does not want to cooperate. Oh, there we go. I got some out. Okay. All right. Whew, man. That's a tight one. I hope I don't have to take this back off. Okay. I'm tempted to take the valve stem right out, actually. Okay, now there's definitely no air in there now. Oh yeah. We don't want the tire to come off. I don't know what a Belgium accent sounds like. So, bike mechanics, we are halfway through. I'm just guessing. If there's someone from Belgium, I'm sure you're going to comment. Sounds nothing like someone from Belgium. Okay, we're almost there, man. These suckers are tight. Makes you wonder if they're really, it says 27 by 1.25 inches. It does say it on there. Made in Belgium. 27 by 1.25 inches. Yeah, makes you wonder. Woo, that baby's tight. Okay. Come on now. I gotta do this. I really don't want to pinch it with the tool. I would rather use my thumbs. It's close though. I really don't want to pinch it. Man, it's tight. Have I said it's tight yet? Okay, we gotta go for it here. Hopefully I won't pinch the tube. Oh man, come on now. I'm really trying not to pinch the tube. Trying to poke the tube up in there. I think the pie's ready. Oh yeah, the pie is now ready. Come on now, I want some pie. I want pie now. Yes, we have pie. Okay, let's put this valve stem in and we'll try to seat it real quick. And when the pie is cooling, I'll run in there when the pie is cooled. And I'm gonna have pie and ice cream. And you guys are gonna have to just sit and wait for 4 seconds. Well, I have some ice cream. Okay, hopefully this will seat up good. We got it on there. Hopefully I didn't pinch anything. The green sealer is in there. I'm gonna push this in a little when you inflate it. You don't want this all the way down. You want that in a little, because you want the tire to be doing seating tire things and not being interfered with the tube. And once you get a little in there, then you can pull it down. Okay, so from first glance, it looks like we have a seated tire. I won't know until I spin it, but let's put a few pounds in this baby. I heard something pop. That's good. Well, not good, but I heard something seat, not popping, seating. First glance, it looks pretty good. There's some kind of weird overspray here. Somebody did some painting near this bike when it was sitting there. Probably wasn't my friend John. It was probably the person before him. Okay. All right, we'll give it a spin. This is the big moment to see if I seated it good and see if the tire's even usable. Oh yeah, that's fine. There's a dip in the rim, but the tire's good. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Let's put the yellow cap on it. We'll check the pressure in a minute. I'm gonna call that good. We could throw it on real quick. I think the pie is still cooling. We're doing good. Yeah, I think that's good. That's not too bad. And most of that's in the rim. The tire's fine. Well, there's a little tiny flat spot from sitting. That might ride out a little bit. Bearings feel good. We might try to polish this with some aluminum foil and vinegar, maybe. But for right now, let's pop this back on. We got stuff to do. We got to go eat pie. let some air out. Yeah, I might have to let some air out. I forgot about this. Let's see here. Here we go. Woo. Wow. Yeah, I remember when I was doing this 2-speed conversion, I was realizing that, man, it's really tight. Everything's really tight. But it does work. And you will see tomorrow. We'll take a ride. I can just get this. I gotta get a screwdriver. Hang on a second. The pie is cooling. I must go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so we now have a used Bell Streetster tire on our Continental 2-speed non-kickback. The non-kickback version. You know, because you were just too kicked back. You know, you needed to work. Yeah, oops. Come on now. Dang, I had it and I messed it up. Okay, good enough for now. We might get a final tighten on that in a minute. All right, well, what do we got here? There's a little flat spot. I think most of that's in the rim, though. I think the tire's fine. It's just an old tire that's been sitting. At least the sidewall's good. Okay, I'd rather have that out on the trail than this. I'm not going for that out on the trail. Okay. Anyway, when I get back, I'm going to go load up on pie and ice cream and sugar. And when I get back, we're going to fix this front wheel. So I'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'll see you in about 5 seconds. And you'll see I'm all hopped up on sugar. Yeah! I'll see you in a minute. And we're back. Yeah. Off camera, I took this front wheel off. I took the tire off. The tire looks usable, but as you can see, let's see, where's that spot? The front tire looks better, but you know, you start pinching it, you can see the gum wall breaking up a little bit. This tire is probably still usable, but why at this point? I've already got that one on the back, and I'm not going to ride a knobby in the front and a Bell Street tire in the back. Yeah, we're going to change it. I will save this one, though. That one's toast, obviously. That one's seen its life. But this one I may use somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably just hang it up in the rack, you know. And better not throw it away. Anyway, let's test this technique real quick. We're going to use some vinegar and some aluminum foil. And we're just going to go to a really rough spot here that looks very corroded. Like right here, maybe. All right. Let's set you up in the stand. And I've never tried this with the foil and the aluminum and the vinegar. I've used foil on chrome for old cars before, and it's okay. It seems to be a little slower than being aggressive, but with steel wool and stuff. But what happens with steel wool is you actually scratch the chrome a little bit. But you can't use steel wool on aluminum parts. You can't do that. So let's take some fresh foil here and crunch it up. And we'll put a little bit of vinegar on here. That's right, we're gonna use some vinegar in this video. We'll pour a little in the cap here. It's nice and stinky. And we'll dab this foil in the vinegar. And let's pick a really rough spot. Like right here with all this stuff going on. Let's get you in here. Yeah, you guys can see that's kind of a rough spot. I mean, that's not just coming off. Like if you were to scrape this with a rag, it's not really going to come off. All right, we're going to put some vinegar on this, and we're just going to try this spot. I've never tried it this. I've tried foil on old car bumpers and stuff, and they say what happens is the foil is softer than the aluminum and the chrome, and then it breaks off and forms this oxide stuff. And then the vinegar even helps more. And apparently you can't scratch it because it's foil, it's aluminum. All right, let's wipe that off. Looks like it scratched it a little bit. Not too bad though. Oh yeah, I'd go for that. Wow, that's not bad. It looks like it scratched it a little bit. It must be just the old rim is, the rim is so bad, you know. Huh, it's a little scratched up. I think it scratched it a little bit. Well, the jury's still out on that. It wasn't supposed to scratch it. Let's try a spot without the vinegar right next to it, okay? There's that. That's not bad. If the whole rim looked like that but slightly scratched, I'd be all right. All right, let's try this spot right here, or maybe even right here without vinegar. Just straight foil. Foil that's never touched vinegar before. We know it's clean foil. Okay. We'll put it right next to it. How about that? Yeah, maybe the vinegar scratched it. Well, I'd say that the vinegar side is shinier. Yeah. And maybe less scratchy. It's really hard to say. On this side I couldn't really get the angle. But that's the vinegar and that's not. I think the vinegar worked better and quicker. About the same result. Slight scratches, but I guess this rim is so old that anything would scratch it, you know. Okay, well, vinegar and foil does work. Whether you want to do this whole rim and spend hours and hours, yeah. Let's do this Weinmann part here. Oh, this is not a Belgian rim. Huh. Oh, the back's of Belgium. Oh no, this is made in Belgium. Oh, it is. Okay, it's Weinmann, Belgium. Okay. Yeah, I was mixed up there for a minute. Let's hit that real quick. See how that looks. We'll put some vinegar on that. And here we go. Make sure these are 27-inch rims. You know, we can't be putting them on the wrong size. Yeah, the oxide is building up. It's making aluminum oxide. All that gray stuff, you see all that stuff? Yep, that's what it's doing. All right, let's wipe this crap off. Okay, good. It is definitely a 27-inch rim. Weinmann, made in Belgium. Okay. All right, well, I say if you were willing to put the time in on this rim, it would look better. Am I willing to put the time in? No, I'm not. We're gonna chuck it back together. It's gonna see the roughest conditions a 10-speed Belgian rim has ever seen. So let's cap up the vinegar for now. All right, we had to try it. It does work. But am I going to do the whole rim? No, I'm not going to do the whole rim. Maybe someday, but not today. I want to go riding tomorrow. I don't want to work on this thing all night. This rim was packed a few years ago. It's fairly straight. I don't see any gum wall residue in here, like I was saying earlier about cleaning out the ridge of gum wall when it sticks in there. The rim liner, it looks like this one is stamped Kenda. So that means that I did replace it. So this is a newer rim liner, not like the other tire. All right, let's pop this other tire on. And on this one, get rid of all this junk. On this one, I'm replacing the tube. I didn't like this tube that came off of it. This was a little loose. I can feel it. Like when these get loose, like it's hard. It's kind of a feel thing. Like when it's in the rim and you can just move it around really easily, that means it's compromised in here. Now, this bike's been sitting 3 or 4 years without me riding it, and it felt different from the back tube. So you know what? We're going to replace the tube. And I have one that my friend Larry gave me. I went and sold a Schwinn racer to him, and there was a bunch of parts in trade, and he made that racer into a collegiate. But I'm pretty sure he gave me this tube because he couldn't use it. So Larry, I'm going to use your bike shop tube. I don't think this company even makes tubes anymore. Yeah, I don't even know if these guys are in business. Might have to look that up and have a Faulkner factoid minute on you. But it is a new tube. It's sealed up. And we're going to use it. Thanks, Larry. We're going to put some tube sealer in it first, though. We are going to use the green stuff on this. Let's take this cap off. And we'll put some sealer in this. And by the way, I did have the homemade pie, and it was rocking. It was apple, cherry, strawberry, and some kind of crazy sweet dates from the Middle East. Really good. Oh my God, with ice cream. Oh man, I mean, it is just incredible. It was so good. Well, this must be an old one. I can't get this out. Wow, this must be a really old tube. Larry, what is this, an antique tube or something? Let's see if I got my, there it is. Let me get out with this. Get out with that one. Ah, there we go. I don't know. This tube might be really old. Looks good though. Look at the rubber in here. Yeah, that's good. I think that's good. All right, let's put some sealer in it. Okay, this company has not given me a check. There's no promotion here. It's just some no-name green stuff. You only need a little. Just some no-name stuff. Nobody knows what that's at. Nobody knows what's going on there. And we'll put that back in. And we'll just put some air in it to give it shape. We're probably gonna have to let all the air out to get it on this dang rim because they're so tight. Okay, we got some shape. The tube feels really good. It feels fresh and new. Yeah, I think CST is still in business. But I don't think the bike shop tube thing is... I think that went the way of the Dodo. But that company that made this for them, CST, they are still in business. Okay, this has sealer in it. We'll put it on the handlebars for a sec. Let's go get the tire in question. It's over there. All right. We're just gonna run our hands along this to make sure. This is just a tire that came with the bike. You know, it came with the sports tourer bike. I'm not going to use it on that bike, but we've never used this tire before. So we're just going to run our hands along, and hopefully we won't get stuck with anything. We're just going to check it out. Okay, that's good. And we're going to take a good look at the sidewall. There was some kind of overspray going on where this was stored. Somebody painted a house or something. We could try to get that off with something later. I mean, now would be a great time to get it off, but I don't think it's coming off very easily. Yeah, somebody, or they rode through some concrete. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but the rest of the tire is really in good shape. Let's just try to pop it on even without the tube in it right away, because it was so tight the last time. It's still going to be super tight. We'll be able to get that tube in. Let's just try to get this on first. Just the outer one wire. Yeah, it's gonna be naughty, I can tell. Let's try that. You guys here? You're still here. Where would you go? Where would you go to get this content? Some guy eating pie and ice cream and coming out here after halftime, all hopped up on sugar. And that pie was good, I'll tell you. She nailed it this time. The crust was perfect. Okay, we just put one side on because it was so tight last time. All right, should we spray this with Armor All so it slides on? Let's see what we can do here. There's the hole. And like I said earlier, this rim liner was good. It looks like I replaced it a few years back. Not like that back one. And let's let some air out of this. I was premature in pumping it up. There we go. And we're just going to shove this in there. And it should go in. Should be no problem. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, these rims are so tight, I had to do it this way. Usually you just lay it down on the tire and Bob's your uncle, it's on there. But these Weinmann made in Belgium rims, the bike mechanics, we have that inner tube must not come off. They're tight rims. And you get these rims now and then, and you think, oh, is this the right size? Is this really a 27-inch rim? It's 27. It's just a little on the overside. Maybe it's because it's alloy. You know, it's a little tighter. This one seems to be behaving a little bit better. Although I didn't put any Armor All on it or anything. Actually, let's stop and take the valve stem completely out. And we'll spray what's left. Okay. And we'll just see if we can kind of pop this on. We're getting it. Oh, this one's much easier. I said this one's much easier. Okay. Alright. Boy, these Belgian rims, I don't know, folks. Alright. I guess we gotta put the spoon in there and be super careful. I guess we got a deal. Okay, good. All right, let's put this valve stem back in. We already have the green sealer in there for the tube. And I'm not going to spend the time to clean this whole rim. Like I said earlier, where this rim and this bike is going, it's not going to be a little fancy show or anything. You know, it's it's not going to a bike show, you know. It's not going there. Where we're going, we're not shining nothing up. Okay, I think the compressor's a little low on juice, but it popped it out. Some kind of weird overspray on the tire. I don't know what that is. First glance, it's seated. I don't think any giant bulges. Let's give it the spin of truth. Oh yeah. Take that to the bank all day. Hub feels a little crunchy. The hub feels... it's okay. I see fresh grease in there. I probably have to repack it after the next ride. I think I'm alright. The cones are tightened down. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. We got to turn the compressor on just for a second, folks. Sorry. Okay, that's good. Let's put the yellow cap on it. Nice little vintage yellow cap. Okay, let's go put it on. And no, we're not shining the whole wheel, but when you do shine it, that's what it comes up at. That's not bad. And that's not shined. So yeah, where this bike is going, it's not a bike show. Let's pop it on here. And then we might even find some pedals. Yeah, this turned out good. Oh yeah, slight up and down. There's a flat spot from that tire sitting so long. I think once I ride it, it'll be okay. It'll kind of even out a little bit. Sometimes on older cars, sometimes you get these older cars and bikes too. You notice there's terrible flat spots, and you drive the car at a slow speed for a few miles, and the tire heats up, and sometimes it gets a little better. And hopefully these do. They're not bad. You can definitely tell someone went through some concrete or something. It's all I can figure. I mean, there's this gray stuff in the treads there, and then it's not there. And that's where most of the overspray looking stuff is. I might be able to scrub that off. I'm like I said, I'm not really concerned. There's going to be plenty of stuff on these tires. Okay, so let's put this brake pad back on, and then we'll look for some pedals real quick. And I won't bore you anymore. But tomorrow we will get some footage. We'll, maybe not on this video, but I will add the video where we go test this out. This is like what I said, this is one of my favorite bikes to go off-roading on. The frame is nice and tall. The brakes are excellent, you know, for center pull brakes. It used to have knobby tires on it. The two-speed mechanism is really all you need. I mean, people will probably comment about the two-speed thing. I mean, you've got a bike with high and low. It's like driving an old Chevy truck with a power glide transmission, you know. You got slow and you got go. It's kind of my version of a Chevrolet Power Glide transmission. Right now I'm holding the pad so it doesn't slip with the wrench. And you know, let's look for some pedals real quick. And this is bugging me too. This smudgy yellow Schwinn plate. I know I have a better one. And I'm not going to get into it tonight. I'm too tired. But we might change that out to either just a normal black and white one or a better yellow one. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite like that smudgy one. I don't know what happened there. I think someone tried to touch it up and they blew it. It does have a date code on it, but it's not for this bike. Okay, let's find some pedals and see what we can do. And that's definitely not the pedal to use. And we might have to dig around a little more. Oh, look, here's some. Oh, here's some nice. They're super dusty, and they're not rat trap. But who cares, right? They're kind of tight. Oh yeah, these are kind of tight. Give me a second. I think I'm going to shut you guys off once again, and I'm going to find some decent pedals, and we'll put them on. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm not going to go eat more pie, okay? I'm just looking for pedals, okay? Trust me. Hey folks, I'm back. I found some pedals. Well, actually I didn't find any pedals. We're going to use those first ones I picked up. Right now we're going to clean this threaded part on the crank out. It's been sitting in the basement for probably 3 years with no pedals in it. And I started to put a pedal in and it just wasn't happy. So we're going to do the right thing. And we're going to tap it out with this left-hand pedal. Well, left-hand half-inch National Fine tap. And that's for the left side of the cranks. And that's for one-piece cranks. For bikes with the three-piece cranks, it's a different tap. It's still left-hand thread, but it's a different tap. Now, I'm going all the way. I don't want that chip. I don't want that chip to go back in, so I'm just going to take this off and go all the way, and I can just blow that out later with compressed air. See that chip? I didn't want that chippy stuff to go back in. That's going that way and out, and we'll hit it with some compressed air right now. There we go. All right, let's do the other side, which is a right-hand tap. I sprayed these orange because I was tired of looking around in my tap box. Sometimes I put them in there. So I just sprayed them orange. So I know that these are definitely for bikes, because it's not all the time that I reach in my tap box for bike stuff. And lately I've just been keeping them right in the bike tools, but I decided to spray them orange so I could definitely just find them and know that they're for bikes. Although you could use these on something else. You know, anything with a half-inch fine hole, or right hand or left hand or right hand, whatever, but you could use them on something else. But generally, in my case, I'm always digging around on my taps. Now this is a right-hand tap, so you go in clockwise to clean it out. And let's see what crap is in there. Oops, it'd be good if you put it in the right way. If it starts to go the right way, that would be nice. Okay, that's good. Doesn't seem like it's cross-threaded. You guys got a good idea what's going on? It did push up a little chip there pretty bad. We probably should have some grease on this tap or some oil, but they're not too bad. I can see chips coming out the other side here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go right through. I don't want those chips to go back in. I don't want to do that. So we're going to undo this. Now, if you're inside your house or something, like some people work on bikes, you know, in their living room, put some grease on the tap and it'll hold all the chips. And then you could back it out the normal way if you wanted to, because the grease would keep all the chips on there. But out here, I don't really, oh, see, that chip just fell off. I don't really care out here. I mean, I do. I sweep up, but the dogs aren't out here, and people aren't walking around barefoot at 3 in the morning. So, yeah, there's some chips on there. That wasn't too bad. Let's hit it with some compressed air. There we go. All right. Now, these first petals I did grab. They are the ones I'm going to use. What I did was, during the break, when you guys weren't looking, I put some 3-in-1 oil down in there, and I sat them up like that. And the oil, because I couldn't get this cap off. You can, but I didn't want to mess around. I just poured a gobs of oil in there, and they're spinning pretty good now. And the oil, the thing is, you put it in here and you wait like 10 minutes, and it drips down and gets to that bearing. You can even see it. You can even see some leaking out right there. And that's a good sign. It means that bearing has oil. Now, I did the same thing to this too. This one might be a little bent, I'm not sure. While we're at it, you know what? Let's try to shine these babies up. Look at how bad that is, all right? Okay, we're not even going to use vinegar. We're just going to use straight foil. And we're going to see if the foil method is for you. That's pretty bad. You guys ready? Okay. Here we go. Don't be afraid to really muscle into it. Put some vinegar on it. It's good to breathe the dust and rust too. It's good for you. You know you're alive when you breathe some rust. Is it perfect? Probably not. Is it coming off? Yeah, it's coming off. I mean, if you wanted to really scrub for another hour, you could get it down looking pretty good. I mean, there's some stuff there, but that came off pretty good. It didn't take off the oxidized chrome that's going to flake off if you did use steel wool. I mean, if you could get in that little corner there. Yeah, some came off. Yeah, I mean, you could go on that for a long time. It looks better. Now that the oil's leaking all out of the thing, because I over-oiled it. I mean, it came out okay. Look, see, this side might be even better. You ready? Ready for this? Okay, here we go. Not bad. You know, it's not a show bike. We're not going to a bike show. But I just wanted to show you that the foil technique does work. I tried it a little bit on this already. Let's finish it off. It's just regular old steel wool, steel wool. Regular old foil. And if we put some vinegar on it, it might even be better. Okay, this is the last one. This is before. A little bit there. Not bad. I mean, this is not show quality, but it didn't get scratched with steel wool. It's better. A little bit right there. Yeah, better than it was. This would be the real test, scrubbing on that. But you know what? Like I said, where this bike is going, you're not going to worry about anything like that. All right, let's put some grease on these threads. Let's pop them in. Quit messing around. And this is a left. You can always tell the left because there's this knurled edge on there. You can see that little crosshatch stuff. It might be marked L, but usually if it's a Schwinn, oh, it is marked, yeah. It's marked L, plus there's that little crosshatch stuff on there. Okay, these are ready to go in. They're greased. We tapped out the threads. We made it nice. Let's put the right one in first. And this bike will be ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow, we are going to go bike riding. And I don't know where yet, but it's going to be somewhere cool. And it'll be somewhere that we need at least 2 speeds. And yeah, we'll go from there. This is probably the wrong wrench. And let's see if it's wrong. No, it will tighten this up, just barely. I'm going to use the bike as leverage. Okay, there's one bow pedal. Let's put the left pedal on. And then we'll just kind of run it through the gears again and make sure this water bottle thing works. I think it's okay. It doesn't look like it got seized or anything. And this is left-hand thread here. So go counterclockwise to put it in. And let's see how I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go like this and use the leverage down. Okay, good. We'll wipe off that excess grease and oil for me over oiling the pedal. If you've ever put some used pedals on a bike and they feel okay and you're like, oh, okay, these are good used pedals, and then you're riding, you know, like a mile later and all this stuff starts squeaking and grinding, and you just say to yourself, why didn't I oil those pedals when I had them out? All right, we're going to spray this. It's the only derailleur on the bike, and we're going to spray it with some WD, just because we haven't ran it in a long time, and I'm not, you know, I don't know what's going on there. Just to prevent it. Actually, we're going to spray it with our favorite lubricant. No one has sent me a check yet. Liberal spray. And then we'll run it through the gears. Maybe get some of that extra. We don't need to spray all over everything, do we? Okay. You know, yellow is a hard color to clean on Schwinn bikes. I think it's pretty much on any bike. You know, you get a yellow bike and you're like, oh, that should clean up nicely. Yellow bikes just don't clean up very well. Something about the bike being yellow. Okay, so let's run it through the gears. Now, this doesn't do anything back here. That stays there all the time. It's this top derailleur controlled by this 5-speed handle, which is now a 2-speed handle. So all you got to do is watch right here. See if we can get you in there. Yeah. Just keep an eye on this right here. And let's run it through and make sure it's good. We're in, I guess this would be 2nd gear right now. This would be the equivalent of a 10-speed in 2nd gear. And now we're going to go to the equivalent of a 10-speed 6th gear. And now we're in the equivalent of a 6th gear of a 10-speed. And now we're going to drop back down to 2nd gear. So really it's 1st and 2nd while you're riding the bike, but in all reality, you're actually shifting from a 10-speed 2nd gear to a 10-speed 6th gear. So it is a 2-speed, but you're jumping those cogs so radically that it's like driving a Chevy Power Glide truck. If you've ever driven a Chevy from the 60s, the 2-speed Power Glide, you're just creeping along really slow, and then you give it gas and it shifts to high, and that's it. That's all you got. Slow and go. All right, let's drop it down to 2nd gear again, which is actually, oh, it is 2nd gear in 10-speed. Yeah, okay. Brakes are good. Everything's good. Let's pop it back up. Yeah, I think we're golden. Yep, and that's the 2 speeds you have. It is a Continental 2-speed. And I'm pretty sure that there's nothing really to go wrong on this. You put your water bottle in there. I mean, we could hit that with some aluminum foil too, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm just gonna let that be. So yeah, the brakes are good. I tightened this back up. I don't know what this concrete stuff's about, this overspray stuff. And like I said, where this bike's going, we don't care. We could try to polish up the rims more, but it's late and I'm tired. I did find a better Schwinn plate. I think I'm going to change this tomorrow before we go. It's kind of a nice one. It's not really for this bike, and it's not yellow. But you guys tell me in the comments. I mean, that's nice. I think we should put that on there. That would look classy. You know, keep it classy, folks. Even though that's yellow, somebody tried to smudge that up. Somebody tried to touch that one up. That would look pretty classy. You guys tell me what you think. I definitely, I'm leaning towards changing it out. In fact, we're just going to leave it right here with a little screwdriver. Probably won't fit it. I'll have to find another one. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Should I change that out? I think I should. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. And tomorrow we're going to take a ride. And I'll definitely be riding this one now. Look at that faded yellow seat. Oh man, it's all burnt up and stuff. Oh, dude. Hey guys, keep it positive. If you're feeling down, just go work on your junk. That's what it's there for, you know. And yes, and no, I haven't done anything on this. In fact, all I've done on this is rob the used tires that came with it and put it on this bike. That's all that happened. There has been no work on this. Okay, signing out for now. Keep it real, folks. Keep it positive. And if you have to modify your AC system for your shop, by all means, just whip something up. It really works good. All right, take it easy.